Hello and welcome back. Patch day has come and gone, which means that the Russian battleship line has finally been fully released. Now if you've seen my video about the Sinop, still not sure how to pronounce it by the way, you know that I got tier 5, 6 and 7 from the Russian crates. And I was ready to move on to the tier 8 by the time the ships were released. So I spent the first day grinding through the tier 8 and 9 in order to get a hold of this ship, the T10 Kremlin. And let's just say that it's a very strong ship. And we will see in the ways it is strong throughout this game. Now a mistake that I've been doing a bit so far, partly because I make mistakes from time to time, but also because I've had some pretty bad luck with my teams. Many times I tried to push up and be helpful to the team, only to discover that all my support has completely vanished, and I end up being focused by like half the enemy team. And even though this ship is extremely tanky and can probably tank more than any other ship in the game, when 6 ships are shooting at it, you will go down. So I am taking a bit more slowly now, just to make sure that the other ships I have with me are not gonna bail. Unfortunately, the Salem is being really aggressive and is trying to push into the A-cap. Obviously something is spotting him. I'm not sure if he started firing or if there's a DD here that spotted him before that. Since he's radaring, it is probable that we have the DD here. Kagero is in C, which means that we have the shimmy here. And there we see the first of the torps. Salem eats one of them and will go down shortly after. Harugumo is pushing in after Salem, and this guy I don't really have any words for. He must have seen those torps miles away, but still he ends up running into one of them. So that's an excellent start. Now, while I've been talking, I have taken a couple of shots at the Amagi. And I haven't done too much. The first 2 salvos were at fairly long range. And one of the quirks with the Russian BB guns is that they are more accurate the closer you are, and above a certain limit, which I think is around 15 kilometers. The dispersion just gets very, very much worse. Of course, he was also fairly angled, so it's not the easiest target to hit or even do damage to. But nevertheless, that is basically how they work. So you want to try and be mid to close range whenever you can. But obviously not do what I said I did in other games, push too much and end up being focused down without support. Mogami gets deleted, didn't have that much HP, but with 457mm guns that do 15,500 damage per citadel, the Mogami just doesn't last very long. Harugumo eats a second torp, and yeah, still no words for that player. And we have now lost both DDs, which means that here on A we have 3 battleships and a St. Louis, so we have no way to detect the enemy destroyer. Not too keen to deal with that. I'm starting to move away, see if I can help on the other side instead, while continuously shoot at the ships here while I move over there. Yamato, nice enough giving broadside, and well, not quite deletion, but still a 55k salvo. And yes, you can definitely do similar in other battleships, but the consistency of the way you can do it at these ranges, in the games I played, it's just way easier in the Kremlin. So that is really the strength of this ship, the guns and the tankiness. Tankiness, of course, comes to a large extent of the fact that it has 60mm deck armor in the middle. So it's very hard for HE shells to actually do damage other than sneak fires. Yamato goes down over at A, but we still have the DDR, and there's really not much that I can do over there. So I slowly make my way over, shoot a bit on the line as well before switching sides completely. Now we are actually in the lead. We took C early. We are losing it now, but in return we are capping B, and it took quite some time for the enemy team to get A. We also one ship up, but we're not in the best position, seeing as we have no way to spot the shimmy. We have one radar left, Stalingrad, and he's quite far away. So I'm thinking that my best option is to try and take out the ships here and then see what we can do. Sadly, the curve first failed to cap B. I'm not sure if what happened, but nevertheless, we lost the chance to take it. Having a hard time about what ship to shoot, and end up allowing the Jean-Bart to angle too much. Stalingrad goes down, which means that we now have basically no way to detect the shimmy unless he runs into a hydro or clears an island where we happen to have a ship. No caps, and yeah, we are definitely losing this game. But it doesn't mean that Kremlin will go down without a fight. Didn't get the best hit on the Henry, and before my rear gun shells can hit him, he goes down. So I switch to the Hindenburg. Sadly, the rest of the ships that were here are either dead or they ran away. So until the Hindenburg is dead, there's not too much I can do other than join them. It's a big hit, and I finish him off with another Citadel. And I can finally switch over to the Jean-Bart and the curve first, try and deal with them. I maintain my detection to try and see if I can get a better angle at him, as I also turn around, and I want to avoid giving broadside because the Russian battleships do have a raised citadel and they will eat citadel damage if you give broadside like I was doing there. And I've seen plenty of Russian battleships getting completely blapped. Mostly by other battleships, Russian battleships. I blapped, I think it was a tier 9 one game in the Kremlin. And I was also blapped by one Kremlin when I was in either tier 8 or tier 9. So I mean, that is something important to keep in mind, that even though you are extremely tanky, you will eat citadel damage fairly easily if you give too much broadside. Now I'm having some problem with the Jean Bart. I'm not really getting many hits, so when I hit I don't do too much damage. It is something I need to look at the armor model, because something is strange the way I hit him. Curfews, on the other hand, much easier ship to do damage on. Even though I don't get the best hit here. Now, what I'm doing here is a bit strange, since I am basically rushing a French and a German battleship, both of which have very good secondary guns. So, in most ships, I will be taking a lot of damage here. Obviously, I will do the same here, but I have more HP, and I also have a very good tankiness. But even so, we see that I am taking a lot of damage. But I can survive much better than most ships can. 20k salvo on high caliber on curve first. I am getting kind of desperate since we are losing. They have all the caps. And we need to try and get some kills. Just passed 200,000 damage, and we also see that my potential damage just is skyrocketing in my interaction with these two ships. Make a bad call to switch to the Jean Bart. Would have been smarter to just focus and getting the curvers killed. We will see very shortly that that's actually what will end up killing me. Potential damage have now risen about 1 million in just this short interaction. And as you can see, I don't actually have fire prevention at this stage, because currently I've been using my Stalingrad captain and I don't have that on him. So those fires really brought me down, and sadly I will not survive this. I get my guns on the curvers, but not quite enough to kill him, and in return I go down. But I end up 247,000 damage, which is a pretty good result, and a whole lot of potential damage. Taking a quick look at the result screens as well. We see, like I just said, 247,000 damage, which is definitely a good result, especially considering that I didn't even really try that hard. Could definitely done better against the Jean Bart and curvers, but other than that, it was a fairly relaxed game actually. And yet, I just got more and more damage. Only 4 citadels and only 2 kills. And sadly only the high caliber award. Probably spread the damage a bit too much to have a better chance of winning, but once both our DDs were gone, the Salem was gone, it was looking very badly for us, and there was just no way to bring it back. Base XP, about 1400, which is pretty good on a loss. Not amazing, but not bad either. But we see that the Harugumo, absolutely useless. Stalingrad, absolutely useless. Salem, absolutely useless. Kagero at least got the cap, so he did something, but too many important ships died, and yeah, like I said, we couldn't really come back from that. Enemy team, mostly Sao and the Shim that was a problem. The rest, yeah, okay, but this was mostly our team that failed us. T10 report, not much to say here. 3.2 million potential damage, which is a pretty high number. Could have been even higher if I had fire prevention and maybe played Jean Bartker first encounter a bit better, but it's what it is and it's still a good number. Damage received, only 142,000 damage. Not really amazing, but it was most of the damage I think was during the time when I was facing the battleships, and the secondaries and HE spam from them was what brought me down. And that is pretty much it. I cut the video short since there was not much happening for the rest of the game, and obviously we lost, so there was no real point in continuing to watch that. But this game, I think, really shows that Kremlin is a really strong ship. When you get to the medium close ranges, expect to eat damage if you encounter one, because it's just that strong. Also, make sure to hit the right spot to be able to do damage, because it takes a lot to bring it down. In one game I tanked 6 ships for several minutes without going down, so it's not an easy target to just take out. But so far I really enjoy it. Need to be a bit more mindful about what I'm doing and in relation to what my team is doing, but as long as you do that, it's an amazing ship, and I highly recommend it if you like battleships. Either way, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you next time.